Doctors and nurses, what have been your why didn't you come in sooner moments? I was 17, a senior in high school, and used to having really bad periods, like curl up in a ball for hours bad. My mom had the same thing growing up, so we always just figured it was normal. You know, just how our bodies worked. This one Friday morning in October, I woke up with cramps that felt different, way worse than usual. I actually threw up right there in my bed, which had never happened before. My sheets were a mess, and I felt like someone was stabbing me in the gut with a rusty knife. Mom came in with her usual routine. Heating pad, 2 Tylenol, and a glass of water. Try to sleep it off, honey. I'll call the school and tell them you're sick. She kissed my forehead and left for work, thinking it was just another bad period day. But the pain didn't go away like it usually did. Instead, it got worse and weird. It shifted from my whole stomach to just my right side, getting sharper and more intense every hour. By lunchtime, I couldn't even sit up without wanting to scream. I texted my best friend Emma, asking if she'd ever had period pain that felt like someone was twisting her insides with pliers. She said no and told me to call my mom, but I didn't want to be dramatic. I figured if I just waited it out, it would pass. By 4 in the afternoon, I was sweating through my pajamas and couldn't walk without hunching over. When Mom got home from work and saw me trying to crawl to the bathroom, her face went white. Okay, we're going to urgent care right now, she said, grabbing her keys. We waited 90 minutes in that stupid waiting room. I was curled up in those uncomfortable plastic chairs trying not to throw up again. There were little kids with coughs and old people with broken wrists, and I felt like such an idiot for being there for period cramps. When they finally called my name, the nurse started pressing on my stomach during the exam. The second she touched my right side, I screamed so loud that 2 other nurses came running in. They looked at each other with this expression I'd never seen before. We need to get her to the ER immediately, the nurse said to my mom. The next thing I knew, I was in an ambulance. The paramedic kept asking me to rate my pain on a scale of 1 to 10, and I kept saying 11. My mom was holding my hands so tight, I thought she might break my fingers. At the hospital, they rushed me straight into this room with bright lights and machines everywhere. A doctor came in and ordered an ultrasound right away. The technician squirted that cold gel on my stomach and started moving the wand around. Everyone got really quiet really fast. Her right ovary has twisted around itself. The doctor told my mom, it's called ovarian torsion. The blood flow is completely cut off. I didn't understand what that meant, but my mom started crying, which scared me more than the pain. The surgeon came in next, this older woman with kind eyes but a serious voice. She looked right at me and said, we need to operate immediately or you're going to lose your ovary. We have less than 2 hours to save it. Less than 2 hours. I'd been in pain for almost 10 hours already. They wheeled me into surgery within 45 minutes. The last thing I remember was the anesthesiologist telling me to count backwards from 10. I made it to 7 tau. When I woke up, the surgeon was standing next to my bed. She told me and my mom that when they opened me up, my ovary was purple, completely purple from lack of blood flow. But they managed to untwist it and restore circulation just in time. If you had waited until morning, she said, looking directly at my mom, it would have been necrotic, dead tissue. She would have lost the ovary completely and possibly her fertility too. My mom broke down crying again. I found out later that she'd been blaming herself, thinking she should have brought me in sooner, but how could we have known? Bad periods ran in our family. This seemed like just another really bad one. The recovery sucked. I had to stay in the hospital for 3 days and walking hurt for weeks. But I healed completely, and both my ovaries are perfectly fine now. When I got back to school, I told my friends what happened. Emma made me promise to never ignore pain like that again.